Alright, so this is attempt number 2 on the intro, because the first one was absolute booty cheeks. But today we're working on the yellow car. Seems to be the common theme lately. But I did a little work off camera just so that I didn't bore you guys. I tested for power around the car. I have it at the relays, I have it at the fuel pump, so everything should be working. The one thing I still am not sure about, because I don't have an ohm reader, is if the cam sensor and the throttle position sensor are reading at the correct ohms. That could be something that's throwing it off, but I don't think the car would crank correctly then. From everything I've read, when that goes off, then the car actually won't crank. Could be wrong. So yeah, I'm gonna do the fuel pump because Sean gave me the full assembly. He said that the little pins in it get corroded, or they just come disconnected because they're super fragile. So I'm gonna drop the whole assembly in, see if I can get the car to turn on, and after that, if that doesn't work, then probably the next step is gonna be either compression test it or double check for spark, just because it's super weird that last time I had spark and I had fuel, it seemed like, even though it was a slight dribble, I feel like that would still make it turn on. And it didn't even seem like it wanted to start on starting fluid. So I really don't know what's up with it, but we're gonna keep chipping away at some things today, see if we can figure it out. And yeah. All right, so kind of like I suspected, there was a tiny amount of gas in that line. When you usually pull that off, a solid amount will usually pour out. I'm just noticing that little bit of moisture there. I'm not sure if that was on the line and I flicked it over there by accident, or if potentially that line is leaking, which could be our fuel issue. So I'm gonna throw this new pump in, see what happens. It's weird that there's so little in the line unless it's leaking out further down, and just kind of like siphoning it out. But I'm gonna throw this pump in. If this doesn't work, then I'm probably gonna go grab the tow strap and grab the truck and pull the car up, so that I can put it up in the air, check the line from the tank that feeds up to the engine, because that could honestly be our issue. We might be having a fuel leak somewhere in that area. Because keep in mind, 30-year-old car, or yeah, this one's a 94, I think, so almost 30-year-old car. Rubber hoses are going to get old and brittle. It's strange that this all happened when the ECU was a thing, but I'm wondering if cleaning that was sending like a better signal or something, blew out a fuel line. I really don't know, but I'm going to do all that and get back to it. So pretty much looks the same as last time I took it out. I don't see anything that's like alarming. There is barely any gas in that tube. I don't know if that just poured out when I picked it up, but that is what feeds the feed line. So I'm wondering if this potentially also has a leak, and that's making it so that there's low pressure to the sending line. But I'm gonna throw the new one in, and yeah, I guess we'll see if that works. If that is a no-go, then we're probably going to be replacing that line, which is not going to be fun because you might have to drop the fuel tank. So might be tackling the subframe sooner than I thought, because it's probably easier to just do both at the same time. But yeah, I'll let you know. Sweet. So Sean had this pump chilling in his basement. I am going to end up probably using at least the temp plug, because mine is missing the temperature plug thanks to the previous owner. So I'm going to drop this in, throw in at just the one wire for now that's already wired in. See if this kicks on. If not, then I guess we're going to look for more fuel leaks. So I didn't think you were going to want to watch me install the fuel pump again, but I popped the new fuel pump in. It is out of a E36 M3. I don't think that is going to affect anything. From everything I've read online, they're fully usable. Sorry, that sun is brutal. I mean, it's super nice, but for the lighting. So I believe that's fully compatible. I put the feed line on, all that. Now it's time to give it a crank. All right, so I just sat there cranking it for a minute. Battery is pretty low, so I'm gonna throw the tender on it. It definitely sounded like it wanted to go. The thing that's weird is that it almost sounded like it was popping, which I don't really know what that means. But it definitely has fuel now because it sounds like it wants to start. All right, so while the car is giving me no signs of having a bad MAF, I'm gonna try to start it with it unplugged because I was just kind of like spitballing ideas in my head, and the popping on cranking, super weird. I'm wondering if the MAF went bad and it's sending the wrong air fuel mixture. Or like I said, the idle air control valve, when I did the whole cleaning, I couldn't get it to be like perfect. So I don't know, could also be that. But if I do get it running, if it's idling weird, then that'll kind of be a sign. I just want to get it running after doing the fuel pump because it was weird when I put the 328 one in, car wouldn't run at all. So yeah, I just hooked it up to the charger real quick and get the battery charged up. And I'm going to try to start it without the MAF to see if potentially it's just sending the wrong AFRs, but I honestly have no idea. So I don't know if it's going to do it now, but that's what I mean by it seems like it wants to start. Oh, that time it did the pop. So yeah, it's super weird. I really don't know what's going on with this thing. I may honestly compression test it because I'm getting kind of worried that maybe it skipped timing or something, and I have no idea. All right, so before I keep just throwing parts at this thing, I was reading on some forums, double check compression and double check grounds. So before just like fooling around and trying to find a bad ground in here, I'm just gonna make a new one because it takes like 2 minutes and I have shrink wrap and thick gauge wire. So probably just gonna throw a ground on like a strut bolt in the block or something stupid. But yeah, I'm gonna do that real quick just to double check because I don't know, it's super weird what's going on, and I'm just gonna go through everything. So yeah, let's make up a ground wire real quick. So here we got the stuff to make quick ground cable, and there we go. So I'm gonna hook this up where the AC compressor used to be, because the AC compressor actually decided to delete itself quite a while ago. It broke one of the bracket bolts and just pulled right down. So this car does have no AC. It has heat, but there's no belt or anything, so that's kind of nice, less drag on the motor. But I'm going to hook up the ground strap where the AC compressor was and probably run it to the strut tower if I have the cable for it. I grabbed literally just a spare piece from when I was doing up that car. So it is red because on that car it was a power cable, but on this car it's going to be a ground cable. So I put some black leads on it, and I'm probably going to write ground with Sharpie on it just so that I know. It's going to be fairly obvious since it's not running to anything powered, but just so that when other people are helping me out with the car, they're not worried to grab onto the red wire, because usually red wire means it could be electrocuted. But yeah, I'm going to toss that in the car, and let's see what it does. Cool, so I threw the ground cable right down there, and I'm going to throw this one right up here, just pop it on here. I filed that down a little bit, made sure it was nice and, you know, exposed for a nice solid ground. And I'm going to tighten this up and we'll see if it fires up. If this doesn't work, then we're going to move on to compression testing it. So it should be a fun afternoon. So it's doing the same thing it was doing earlier. The ground strap didn't help. Took a solid minute of cranking, got it to start, so at least that's a good sign. Haven't heard it run in about a week, but I still really don't know what's up with it. It's not starting right. I'm wondering, the thing is that it's idling so nicely. I highly doubt that it's compression, because compression it usually going wop 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 wop, and I guess the idle has a little bit of variation to it, but it doesn't really sound like an idle air control valve to me. I'm just gonna let it sit and run for a little while. Maybe it just needs to clear out, and yeah, I really don't know. It is ticking a little bit. So I know I haven't moved the car, but the check engine light is off, which is weird. that hasn't been off since I pretty much bought the car. That makes no sense. So upon further inspection, I think that ticking noise is an injector. So that would actually kind of make sense. That would mean it was getting not enough fuel up there, wasn't starting. Threw a M3 pump in there, got it to start, and now I put a bunch of fuel cleaner in it, some injector cleaner and whatnot. I'm gonna take it for a quick lap around the neighborhood. I'm not gonna beat on it or anything because it does have a broken axle right now. But I'm just gonna go like 5 miles an hour around the neighborhood and see if that's gonna, you know, work it into the injectors and if it makes it stop clicking. But yeah, guess we'll see. So ignore that awful grinding noise that you're hearing. That is the axle dragging like the control arm bucket area. I just wanted to make sure that the car was running and driving. So I'm still having some sort of weird fuel delivery issue on cold start, but then as soon as it's running, the car runs and drives fine. So I don't know what the issue with that is, but I'm thinking it's either injectors or idle air control valve. I don't really know which it is. The injectors do sound like a little bit noisy, so it easily could be a stuck injector, but the thing that's weird is as soon as it's running, it's like it's good to go. I don't really know what else it could be. I was kind of thinking maybe a fuel pressure regulator, but I don't think that would make any sense because, like I said, as soon as it's driving, it's good. That axle sounds god awful, but yeah, I'm gonna drive the rest of the way home and start wrenching on the rest of this thing. I don't know. I'm gonna do probably some more testing and then probably do an idle air control valve or injectors. We'll see which I decide. All right, so yeah, we ended work on the 318 once I got it running. When I was pulling it up here, it got stuck in the gravel for a solid like 20 minutes. It was a pain in the butt, but the truck pulled it up, or well, pulled it out of the gravel, and then I took it around the neighborhood to try to clear it out, but I didn't really feel like doing anything else to it today. So yeah, I'm probably still gonna end up compression testing it tomorrow because it's acting super weird. It cranks for like a solid minute and you can smell gas and like see exhaust coming out the back, and it's like going doo -doo -doo -doo. So I don't know. I'm also thinking that it could still be that idle air control valve because we have fuel, we got spark, smells like fuel. I really don't know. I'm also wondering if there's a way to throw a timing light on it. I've never heard of anybody doing that with an M42, but I'm sure it's possible. So if I compression test it and it's fine, maybe I'll throw a timing light on it, just make sure timing's not out of whack. And yeah, we're just gonna go from there because as of now, it's not really drivable because while I can get it started, it takes a minute. So I'm probably gonna end it here for tonight and get back at it tomorrow, but peace.